Hey friends, Mr. Davo here. Today I'm heading out to Courthouse Rock, which is about an hour and a half west of Phoenix. This is not a great road. It could be worse, but it's really sandy, got a lot of washes I got to drive through. So I got about another 5 miles of this kind of road to go through, and then we'll leave this road for something that's a lot rougher and isn't even really a road, it's just a trail. And that is where we're heading, Courthouse Rock. Now before we get there, there is a part of the trail, which is right about here, that I have to go past that hill. And I know it's just going to be rough, there's no other way around it. Yeah, this road has really been washed out over time. The last time I was here, it wasn't even this bad. So this is about as much as I'd want to take this vehicle through. I guess if we just go slow enough, we should be okay. The wheels are slipping a bit. All right, didn't want to over dramatize that, but that was a bit of a rough road. Anyways, here we are at Courthouse Rock. This is a magnificent structure. I've flown here once before with an older, different drone, but this is the first time out here with the Mavic Mini, so I'm excited to see how it's going to perform. We'll take it up to the top, see how it does. All right, I have to interrupt here. The point of this video is not to show you all the nice drone footage I caught, although I did get some nice footage that day. The point of this video is to show you something that happened that should not have happened. The top of Courthouse Rock is about 1,200 feet off the desert floor. I was at about 1,100 feet on the western edge of the rock, and I had a nice view to the south of the desert behind it, the mountains behind it. I wanted to turn the drone, go to the east, and fly in this pass between two large parts at the top of the rock itself. However, I knew that where I was standing on the desert floor down below, I would lose connection with the drone. I knew that would happen, but I wanted to push the drone as far as I could to get as nice of a shot as I could. What I've counted on though was I had looked to the left with the drone, looking to the north, and I had seen that I was easily within 100 feet of the top part of the top of the mountain. And I had set the return to home feature on the drone to be 200 feet. So I put it into sport mode to get as much speed as I could, get as much distance as I could, and I pushed it. You can see where the Mavic Mini notices that it has lost connection with me down on the desert floor, so it stops. It turns to face back the direction where it came from. It's supposed to rise 200 feet in the air, which it clearly does not, and it heads straight back home thanks to the GPS. And there we have it. Let's rewind a little bit. At the point that my controller loses connection, my screen goes black. I don't see anything, but I fully expect that. And I expect that within 20-30 seconds perhaps, the drone will initiate the return to home and I'll see it coming back. But of course that didn't happen. So I'm standing on the desert floor with a black controller, got no indication that anything's going on at all, and suddenly the video feed kicks back in with, of course, this terrible picture. I don't know what's happening. It looks to me as though the drone is up very high, but caught in a tree or something, just stuck with the gimbal wiggling back and forth as it struggles. What I don't realize is that I do have some control of the drone. Because it can give me a video signal, it means that it's not stuck behind the mountain. It is somewhere where there's a connection to be made. So as I manipulated the controls, trying to move it around, I was moving it just enough out of the way so it could make its way back toward me without hitting the rock on its way back. And then the Mini does exactly what it's supposed to do. It uses its GPS to go back to its point of origin, about 1,100 feet in the air, but unfortunately it doesn't try to land, it just sits there, even though the return to home had been initiated. At this point, I've given up. The video signal to me really looks about the same, so I think it's still stuck on the mountain somewhere. Now if you look here, there it is. The drone is actually above me, and you can see it captured a shot of me on the desert floor down below, standing there in frustration by my vehicle. All right, I can't explain it, but I hear it. I hear it coming back. I don't know where it is. It's trying to land somewhere around here, but I can't see it. So now I know the drone is somewhere, not that far away, because if you can hear it, it can't be that far away. I'm looking, I'm scouring the skies for it, and I see where it is. It's about 40 yards away, and it's going down quickly because the battery is low enough. It says, I'm not even going to try to return home, I'm just going to land where I am. Because it still allows me control, as it's a few feet off the desert floor, I rise it back up again with the controls so I can see it from where I'm standing about 30 feet off the ground. I was able to navigate it. I couldn't push it forward, but I could navigate it backwards, and I flew it backward toward me. As it came overhead, I tried pushing it forward and it wouldn't. It just kept going backwards, and I could see the battery doors wide open. So it clearly hit something pretty hard. And before it took off again back out into the desert, I just forced it straight down, and it looks like it's landed just over here. The shell's pretty busted up. So that might be the end of this guy. At least it came back home after like half an hour. I had completely given up. The final video tells the story. This drone took a beating. It hit the side of the mountain at top speed in sport mode, cracked itself, screwed up the gimbal, chopped up the blades. I have no idea how it was even able to fly, never mind able to more or less get back to where it started from. It didn't do it the way it was supposed to, but it did get back intact, and that's the important part. Thankfully, I had purchased DJI Refresh, which allows me to replace the drone at a nominal cost. The point is you have to get the drone back, and I was barely able to do that. So is there a lesson to be learned here? Yes and no. No, in the sense that I did more or less everything I think I should have. I made sure there was enough height to clear. The drone just simply didn't do what it was supposed to do and clear that hurdle on its way back. However, what I didn't do was look at the map while it was out there, and I think it's stuck to the side of a mountain. I didn't switch to map mode to see on the GPS where it actually was. And this is a perfect example of something that's so easy to do. When the drone does something unexpected, or you're not sure where it is or what's going on, you can kind of panic and get a little bit overexcited, or just give up, which is what I basically did, and not do sensible things like check the GPS. Had I done that, I would have seen that it was frankly right above me or very close, and I would have tried to take control earlier, watching it on the GPS, not looking out the camera on the bottom, which was useless anyway. The video feed that it was giving me was of no help. The part that I find most amazing is that as crippled as it was, that little guy struggled and used its GPS to do its best to come back to where it started from. And that really is remarkable. As always, if you like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, leave some comments, let me know what you think. And as always, be safe and be kind.